This is part 2 of 2 of the NZXT Manta ITX custom loop PC build. I told you there'd only be 2 parts. I'm also not going to waste any more of your time. Without further ado, here is, as promised, the tech porn. So I hope you've enjoyed the tech porn up to this point. If you're wondering why the 1080 Ti is not custom cooled as mentioned in part 1, it's because I'm waiting on a distributor to send one. I messaged EK, they're one of the only companies right now that's currently selling them to consumers, and they said they weren't going to send one unless I did a full-on EK build with only their products, and this is a predominantly Thermaltake build, so I understand that. I guess it just sucks that I have to wait a bit longer for one, but when that day comes, when it does arrive, that block, whoever it may be from, I'm looking at Fantex right now and Thermaltake, we're going to see who ends up sending theirs out first. Then we will redo the build with the graphics card integrated into the loop, and I might do something a bit different with the bend leading from the CPU to the top rad. I know that doesn't look very complicated, this bend right here. This one is actually super technical. I mean, like, there are like 4 or 5 bends in there that I had to get just you know, almost perfectly correct it, and at certain points it had to bend if it wasn't bent in the right place, and it just wouldn't align with the top rad. So that's why I had to include that 90-degree fitting there between the reservoir and the back of the case. I just had to make it easier there because there were so many bends involved with a single strand of PETG tubing. The only other question a few of you asked from part 1 that I do want to address in this video is why there is no backplate over the 1080 Ti. So P&Y doesn't ship one with their reference PCB 1080 Ti, which is what this one is. But I do have a few 1080 backplates that will fit over that, but the problem is if you look very closely underneath the 120 rad, which is actually turned upside down, the fittings that are connecting the PETG to the rad are extremely close. I mean, we're talking less than a centimeter of clearance between the bottom of that fitting and the PCB itself. I tried wedging a few different backplates in there. I have a few from AlphaCool, some from Thermaltake, even one from V1 Tech, and none of those fit. So I just decided to leave it bare PCB. Kind of bothers me, but it's kind of okay at the same time because it is a very dark PCB, kind of blends in with the rest of the case. So I'm willing to bite that bullet there for the sake of not crushing anything on the board itself. Oh, and one more thing. If you're wondering who the heck made these super awesome custom sleeved cables for White Sky, that would be Tony over at Virility. I encourage you to check out his YouTube channel, linked at the very top of this video's description. The dude is very gifted. He makes some of the coolest looking custom loop PCs out there. He has even been featured on websites like Fractal Design for building in the Define Mini C, which is a case I haven't personally wanted to tackle yet. His was the Mini C, by the way, the smaller version. That's just a that looked like a feat in itself. And he has helped me with many builds in the past, including this one here. Pretty much all my custom loop builds, he's provided some sort of input or helped me out when I've run into issues. So the guy's very talented, and if you're looking for some cool, unique builds, his channel is the one to go to. With that, if you like this video, like this build, be sure to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down for the opposite. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. This is Salazar Studio. Thanks for building with us.